Alright, I made it to the hardwoods, and this is the Shawnee line up here. Alright, so it's really an art form, stacking in the woods, because there's... Alright, it's starting to rain, so I'll try to swing around behind me and get you a look. It's so tight in here, you can't even turn sometimes. Look at that, look at how pretty that is. Alright, back March 23rd, and I'm trying to make a different perimeter road up to the northeast corner, and I'm going to tell you, it's claustrophobic again. I'm getting tangled on everything, and this stuff is so little I can't get it out. It's very irritating, to say the least. Curtis was experiencing the same thing over there on the 30, where you get in these areas of this super high stem count, and it's challenging, I'll just say that. Kind of makes you want to throw something or hit something, I suppose. And the vines down in here, the vines are crazy also. I had a vine literally hold my excavator back. You know, it's muddy because we've had rain. It's muddy, but I'm trying to go, and it won't go anymore. It's just spinning. And there was a vine, I'm not kidding, it was like barely the size of your thumb that was holding it back. But I could see the hardwoods to the north. So, I mean, obviously now that I'm much closer, I've been going in circles with that dang GPS. It can't refresh. I either use the compass or the basically directional method. You can change the screens, and when you're not moving, you know, you got to move like, let's say 20 or 30 feet before it'll like register a new position, you know, and then you'll be much farther off one direction or the other than you want to be. So this road's going like this, and that's why. But it'll get us to that corner. See, I'm stuck on something else now. I don't know what it is. This tree over here. So anyways, I'm just kind of ranting right now. Not sure what's worse. Trying to grub out and dig out big oaks, you know, that take you forever just to get one, or this stuff. You know, a lot of these are just a little bit too tough to just pull out, so you gotta dig. See the hardwoods up there now. Gives me something easier to aim at. Alright, I made it to the hardwoods. You could see them are hardwoods right there. And this is the Shawnee line up here. So now I gotta turn left and work on a perimeter road through these hardwoods here until I hit this big cliff right here, and then I'll stay on the top of it over here and tie back into the one way in the back of the property. This must have been my worst like 150 yard stretch so far, but let's see how the hardwoods are. Hopefully they're a little better. I'll tell you, this is just a mess. Pretty good sized ditch here. I'll have to do a little dirt work on it. Phil's not out today. It's too wet for the skid steer. And it's marginally questionable as to whether we should be out here or not, but we got the time and the machine, so as long as we ain't getting buried, we're gonna keep working. If I can get across this without burying myself in the ditch here, back side is much steeper than this front side. So I'll just kind of cut a ramp and just work my way up. This is not a tractor ramp. This is just going to be a four-wheeler to get across here. Or just somebody hiking. Finally in the open hardwoods back here. It's really pretty. So this is Shawnee up here. Well, probably another, I don't know, 80, 100 yards. But you know, when it's this remote back here and you can take a four-wheeler right to it, it really expands your property. You know, you could go out into the Shawnee at very, very remote places if you can access them from your property. I'll give you a look behind me here in just a second. Rough, but eventually it's going to be a really nice trail. All right, into the hardwoods. Now in here, I just got to kind of snake a path, you know, and follow the GPS. It'll be a lot easier if you're actually moving faster with the GPS. Hey, there's a fence line. Look what I found. Wonder if that's the property line. I don't see the Shawnee marked in here, but this could be the line. And look how far off we are from the GPS. It is saying, look at how far it's showing we are off the line. And I just hit a fence line. We'll find out when the survey's done. Alright, so now I'm going to take a second and third look at the situation here. Anytime you hit a fence line in the woods, you have to pause for a minute and kind of assess things, because in the old days, that's how they divided property. So the survey may or may not follow a fence line, but I may choose to stay inside the fence line when I'm cutting a trail like this. Alright, my GoPro quit. I'm not sure what recorded or not. So I hit a fence line just on the other side of this ditch. I decided I'm going to stay inside of it, because a lot of times they survey along them lines, them old fence lines. So if that's the case, then we're at the edge of the Shawnee. So I'm going to keep this perimeter road obviously inside and on the private ground. And I blocked that off. I'll probably do a little better so that nobody can come into here with a four-wheeler. I'm going to pile a couple of trees right here in the ditch, and then I'm going to cut that road right here to the left. I mean, you know, you're not necessarily supposed to survey along fence lines, but since that's kind of how they divided property, you know, the problem with that in this case is if we lose, you know, 20 yards or 30 yards, we're going to lose big acreage. And vice versa, we might gain some big acreage. So we'll see how the survey comes out. Alright, so I decided to make a two-sided barrier, as you're going to see, so that, you know, if somebody does come nosing around here off of the Shawnee, you don't want them to be able to get access to your road, which is right here to my right. Especially four-wheeler access. I mean, people can walk through any kind of barrier around it. But this remote and this far, with this kind of rough terrain, you could prevent ATV traffic through there. then definitely do that where you can. So I like to make that whole road inside of the property with no exits or no entrances, where people can get in, you know, easily. I mean, now if you got a neighbor and you guys get along good in that, and you want to connect roads, that's no big deal. But I'm just talking about prevention. As much as you could prevent a machine, a four-wheeler, ATV, you'll be better off in the long run, guarantee you. Plus, I got to make a really wide turn here, because it's a 90, you know, it's a curve, or right turn, if you will. Alright, I'll keep plugging away, keep jamming. Alright, so now I'm going due west, and I'm just following this ditch line. Alright, so I'm going to call it in here for today's video. I did ultimately finish this north loop, but it was an adventure, so I'm going to put up another episode. It was a lot of fun, learning experience, very diverse terrain. I mean, as soon as I get past this, like, you know, 100-yard leg right here, the hardwoods are going to open up. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to go all the way down to the creek down there and then back into the overgrown stuff. So I hope to see you on a future video. Don't forget, if you like our stuff, please hit the like button. Leave us a comment. Consider sharing it and inviting a friend to join us on all of our adventures. Thanks a lot. Gotta make sure my diesel jug don't tip over. All kinds of deer tracks. They're already using the trails.